Hello, everybody. We're talking about Mercury joining the Sun in the sky on February the 9th. There's a conjunction between the two planets. It's sometimes called a Cazimi. We're going to talk about whether this is truly a Cazimi or not, because Mercury is behind the Sun or on the other side of the Sun, not between the Earth and the Sun, but nonetheless, he is still making contact with the Sun from our perspective on Earth, and that conjunction is important. And it doesn't just happen on February the 9th, which is a Sunday in my time zone in North America. It is also a story that unfolds until his next conjunction, and his next conjunction with the Sun is happening in March, around the 24th. So we're going to put on the thumbnail that this is a story for your sign about a reset button, a new beginning in your Aquarius sky with Mercury and the Sun complicit, making it happen, which will impact your life all the way through until the third week of March. So we're going to talk about what this might mean for you. Now, Mercury joins with the Sun on a regular basis. In fact, he joins with the Sun 6 times a year on average. So we get these mini 6-week reset buttons on the regular 5 to 6 weeks in our lives. And so this is something we can pay attention to. One of the things about this Mercury on the Sun conjunction is it's squaring Uranus. Shock and awe, change, but it's sextiling Chiron. Oh, some glorious healing could come our way. So we got some good vibes here, and we got some exciting or exhilarating vibes. Now, my internet just gave me a signal that it was low, and I think I just froze. So I'll be right back while I just double check that internet. All right, I've got 5 bars. It seems to be stable. So we're going to talk about this for your sign, but of course I'll dive a little bit, not dive, but I'll touch briefly upon maybe some mundane astrology world events that could occur with this. And we're going to go through this probably within an hour to hour and 15 minutes if you're trying to time this video because you're in the live premiere. This will air on Sunday. I'm recording on February the 8th, and my Patreon community gets this today, early access ad free. By the way, if you do want to time your best life using astrology as a navigational guide post or tool, I have my 2025 individual videos are each 2 hours long, includes a PDF guidebook for each sign, separate content for each sign. And if you want to buy that for your sign, you can download the video, listen to it as an audio file. There's many ways to participate in that content or watch it on my YouTube as an unlisted video. When you want to get that, I extended the early year, like January sale to the 14th of February. And then the discount code in the description box, exclusive to you on YouTube, my followers here, expires. I think it goes back to the regular price. It's super affordable. You might want to check it out. It honestly is a great deal. So that's my call to action. Now let's get going. I still see myself freezing and I don't know why, and I can't fix it. So let's just call it a Mercury glitch. I'm recording as Mercury heads into the Sun. This is always a time when things to do with technology, communications, messaging can kind of be a little snafu. Mercury is what we call burn it up in the beams of the Sun. So he's combust. And so therefore he's in a position of peril and lack of strength. And that, as I record this February 8th, is what's happening. But when he goes into the conjunction to the Sun, things are not as difficult. And he comes out the other end and he becomes visible again within about a week. Also, he will be coming into like our visible sky, like not for us to see him around February 19th. That's called his rising, or, becoming visible from the beams of the Sun. And so it is very possible, not necessarily probable, that what he does when he connects with the Sun, the message he gets from the Sun becomes much more visible to our life and what is happening, not on the day of the conjunction necessarily, which will be, of course, as I said, February 9th. And you may have some breakthrough news stories in the world. That happens quite often with this, like, oh my God, some interesting news, exciting news, things that were hidden coming to light. But in our own lives, it can take up to maybe around the February 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, end of February, as he becomes visible in our eyeball sky, that we may see the results of the actual conjunction, which wane and fall away as he gets close to the Sun again in March, and we'll make a conjunction in Aries. And that conjunction Aries, if my memory is serving me, is around the 24th of the month of March. And then he keeps doing this every 6 weeks or so, conjunct in another sign. The next one will be Gemini, roughly 6 weeks after March the 21st. So you're getting the lay of the land. If you're new here, by the way, I forgot to say hello. My name is Lori Lothy, and I am a Western tropical zodiac astrologer, not sidereal, not Indian astrology, not Vedic astrology. We are using the sky to navigate our lives, to make better decisions, and to move and flow with the universe. Why swim upstream when you can go downstream and get a ride on the waterways? So time in your life is about moving in alignment with what's already being indicated is happening. So don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. I just went over 100,000 subscribers, and to all of you who've been with me for the last 5 years, thank you. All right, so this is it. I'm opening up the picture of the sky for you. I'm going to show you the chart. We're going to do the world story. There are three. I want to mention there are 3 stars on this Cazimi and a Sabian symbol, and then I'll show you the chart. Okay, the stars are called Salasuud, Nashira, and Deneb Algedi. They're part of the tail of the Capricorn. One of them is in the sign of Aquarius. Don't ask the astronomy of it, just trust me. And the stars are interestingly concerned with material resources, prosperity, etc. But I will delineate them a little bit more specifically in a minute, especially Deneb Algedi. I'm born with my ascendant pretty well conjoined that, and in Aquarius. And so it kind of lends itself to things to do with judicial matters and, things to do with judges and law as well. I always thought I could have been a great prosecuting attorney, and I do like law. Okay, and so Aquarius 21 is the Sabian. Why? Because the conjunction, the joining together and the union of the Sun and Mercury will happen at 20 degrees of tropical Aquarius, and we round up to 21 for the Sabian symbol. And it's kind of a daunting symbol. And I don't want you to think about your own life. Think about world events maybe too. A woman disappointed and disillusioned. Okay. Woo. And it says distress, disappointment, frustration, defeat, disillusionment, grief, loss, discouragement, sadness, despondency, dejection, letdown, regret, anguish, and misplaced values. The accent is on regret. You may realize too late that you relied on the wrong thing to get what you wanted, or an opportunity. Your greatest advantage for opportunity lies in applying what you learn through experience to achieving new goals. So think about both sides of the coin, right? How can you apply what you learn through experience so far in your life to achieving new goals? Pick yourself up and keep moving forward. And basically, there may be literally a woman in the world who is disappointed and disillusioned that we all know about. We all hear the story, like a woman running for office. Let me give you an example. In Canada, we have 2 females running against Mark Carney for the leadership of the Liberal Party, which then will feed into an election this spring. Now, Carney is going to win. I've already looked at his chart. I called Carney as the winner of the Canadian liberal leadership race, right? Already. But who's going to be disappointed? 2 women. And will they know about that? Absolutely. Because this conjunction on this Sabian symbol, Diana E. Roche, A Screen of Prophecy is my favorite book. All my favorite books are in the description box. Absolutely, they'll be disappointed. But it's in the time frame, right? It's between now, February 9th, and March 24th, and the Liberal leadership contest announcement of the winner, who will run for next prime minister in our spot election this spring, which will be Mark Carney, a man. There's going to be 2 disappointed women, disappointed and disillusioned, particularly Chrystia Freeland, okay, who is much not liked in Canada by most Canadians, okay? After Trudeau, she's probably the second most despised politician for various policy reasons that she enacted, including shutting down bank accounts of Canadians during the truckers' convoy. Now, the next thing I want to say is this. The stars that this is up against, let me show this to you. I still see myself freezing and I can't change the internet. It looks like it's fine. Like I did the troubleshoot. That or my computer has got a problem. This is the sky in Vancouver, Canada, where I live at February 9th at 3:52 a.m. Okay, so like I'm going to go to bed at midnight tonight. And if I wake up around 4 a.m, this conjunction is perfect. Now, this may or may not be just like, I'm going to shout out Ksenia Moore, who keeps clearly stating, according to her astrological knowledge based on the ancient tradition, that a real Cazimi is when Mercury is between the sun and the earth as he lines up with the sun, conjunct the sun, but between the earth and the sun. Same with Venus. And that when that's called the inferior conjunctions, and that only Venus and Mercury can be in the Cazimi or in the heart of the sun for a very magical, deep connection to the divine intelligence of the sun. And that when they're on the other side of the sun, Venus and her superior conjunction and Mercury, this is not a Cazimi. Now, Mercury and Venus are the only planets that can come between the Earth and the sun, right? All the other planets do meet with the sun on regular cycles, like Mars every 2 years, etc., but always in the superior conjunction on the other side of the sun from where we sit. So keep that in mind. I will shout her out because I know she said that a few times. A few people made me aware of it. I checked out what she thinks about it. So there you go. I have to have her on my channel. I really love Ksenia Moore. She's from Australia. Now, one of the things I want to say is notice the 3 stars here before we go ahead and do the world events in your sign. Nashira, I can never pronounce this one. Salasuud and Deneb Algedi, the tail of the goat and the Capricorn constellation. Deneb Algedi. Okay, these 3 stars are usually mostly about resources, prosperity, etc. And so there is just a thing about that we might want to sort of consider. Now, Nashira, and I think you just lost the picture because I did something. But anyway, I'm reading, is according to my software, it has to do with an abiding concern for material things. And it can be very future oriented rather than the past. And fighting instinct and political savvy. Now, political savvy and fighting instinct will be very appropriate for any world leaders or countries that are connected to Aquarius. And in particular, say China as an Aquarius rising, we may see some fighting instinct or political savvy, good communication based on spacious thought, abiding, concerns for material things coming out of China. You got to look for Aquarian storylines there. But in your own life, wherever your Aquarius sky is, these are some of the themes that Nashira, the star that is closest to this conjunction, might portend. Am I still sharing, guys? Yes. And one more thing I want to mention. This other star, Salasuud, is the second star in Aquarius, has a Capricornus influence, and it can sometimes bring good fortune and sometimes not. Well, that's a great delineation. You may as well say nothing, right? I'm reading the software right now. It's connected with consequences for a change of mind. So consequences for a change of mind. That doesn't even make sense. Stimulates a high level of individualism. Okay, individualism, and associated with radicalism and innovation. So if we go innovation, Aquarius, okay, fine. We can innovate under this star. I want you to think about the next 6 weeks or so, till about the 3rd week of March. How can you be radical and radicalized and innovative and individualistic? And how can you also have some good fortune? Why not? And then Deneb Algedi, the tail of Capricornus, it's the development of the mind. It's often, by the way, a judicial star, according to the ancients. I know that. I'm not reading the software. Works best when aiming to make the world a better place, and be careful about getting too caught up in material affairs. And if you want to also know a little bit more about the star, I love the fact that Astrology King Jamie Partridge has a whole section about all the stars. So just Google Astrology King Deneb Algedi, Deneb Algedi, and he'll tell you a lot about Deneb Algedi. But I do think the star is known to be the nature of Saturn and Jupiter. And when you take those 2 planets together, you get wisdom and you get sagacity and you get good things happening. So there's something about the whole thing about these 3 stars that could look very, very positive for us, for the world, etc. And by the way, this is a Bohemian star, one of the magical stars to do magic with. In the ancient tradition, there's 15 Bohemian stars that you can, abracadabra your way through life. So keep in mind that part of the story. I'm going to also say, anything else I need to say about it? On February the 12th, the sun will be perfectly conjunct Deneb Algedi. But on the 9th, both Mercury and the sun co-joining together are within orb of this star. Now, people born with it can have fame, wealth, the ability to create happiness, and leadership ability. So This star is on my Aquarius ascendant, more or less. So there you go. But it can also bring sorrows and destruction and loss of wealth. And I've had all of them. I've had the whole gamut of it. Good for being a legal advisor. But we're talking about the world events. So it says in Jemmy Partridge's site, and I find this is interesting, that he says Deneb Algedi is to be found in 3 birth charts of present day atomic physicists, because it's a kind of geeky, sciencey sign, right? Aquarius. How fascinating is that? All right. Now, back to the chart. Let's go ahead and do some delineations for each sign. First off, number one, here are the stars. Look at this. Look at this. I don't have my mouse with me today. I'm in my living room. I forgot to set up my mouse here, but the sun is at 20 degrees with Mercury, and we see Chiron at 19, and we see Uranus at 23 on Algol, the fixed star that has to do with the Medusa's head and corpses. Certainly, this is intense because Algol and Uranus are on Donald Trump's ascendant. And because they're on Donald Trump's ascendant, it is possible that this is not a good Cazimi for Donald Trump. Indeed, because Mercury and the Sun are in a house of his open enemies and adversaries, it's very possible that he's going to have some kind of challenge to who he is in his place of power from a known adversary, opponent, or open enemy. So the square to Uranus on his career point, the midheaven in his 10th house of Taurus, is a bit of a shock and awe. If you listen to my Leo of moon video for the Leo full moon that I just put out, that full moon is on the 12th. Well, the sun is on Deneb Algedi. I talk about that also being a challenging moon for his health, especially mid to late March into April. And again, I keep seeing all of this repeating. Someone in my comments actually said to me, "You never have anything to say positive about Donald Trump." Well, hello. I'm not saying he smells or he's a bad person. I'm saying his life is in harm's way. I mean, do you want me to pretend I don't see it? Sometimes I'm sorry, I don't care if that person unsubscribes if they listen to me call that out. Like, I didn't pin the comment, but guys, I'm talking about likely events based on the astrology for the world. And it's not whether I like or dislike Donald Trump. Actually, I don't mind him. I don't mind him at all, because at least he's making some kind of, he's a great disruptor. His soul mission is to disrupt. I just taught a class this morning on soul missions on the nodal axis. And I literally used him and Elon Musk and Harris as examples of how this works. You love him or hate him. It doesn't matter. He's a disruptor. He's a chaos magician. All right. And that's his role as a soul in this life. So you can see that this is obviously where Donald Trump's midheaven is, more or less. It's still very intense. And that's the same energy, Mars, Uranus, Algol energy that activated the July 13th assassination attempt, clipped his ear, etc. So we got a lot of intensity going on in the square for the world as well. Forget about Donald Trump. This is China's first house. This is sudden shocking events that could to do with China, trade wars, hopefully not Taiwan, but you never know. Earthquakes. Uranus is in the sign of Earth, shock and awe. The Leo moon plus this Cazimi could bring news of earth tremors. I know Santorini is shaking right now, and I'll be talking more about that as well coming forward, because there's an Atlantean vibe connected to Santorini, and I'll be bringing more of that into another video. But it's possible Mercury is the god of news, and there may be a bit of a Pluto destruction, death, news, shock story to do with earthquakes coming up in our sky, coming up in our story. And Aquarius is like the water bearer, healing waters on humanity. It has to do with, invention, has to do with all of that. But cryptocurrencies also belong, and they're inventive to what's going on with Uranus and Taurus. And so there could be some big shocking crypto discoveries, news, shakeups as well, coming off this Cazimi, maybe on the day of the Cazimi, because that's where the news stories can break, right? On Sunday, let's just say Sunday, Monday. But if not, or the 9th, 10th, then don't forget this unfolds its influence over weeks, certainly till the end of February, as Mercury becomes visible in our sky around the 19th of the month. Then we can see the visible demonstration of what the hell this thing's about. So don't forget, it's not just about what happens on Sunday, Monday, or the 9th or 10th. It's what happens over the course of about 5 or 6 weeks after this conjunction. It's not a one and done. Now, with Chiron, the good news is something wants to be healed in the sign of war. Venus, the goddess of peace, is here. People delineate sometimes that she can't bring peace in Aries. She's forcing peace in Aries. That's not correct when people say, oh, how can the goddess of peace bring peace in a sign of war? She has to make do with where she is, just as poor Mars has to make do with watery Cancer, where he's very emotional. And in essence, it's quite possible that with Mars squaring Chiron and Venus, the goddess of peace, co-present, there may be a massive, I wouldn't even say negotiation, but a kind of strong man, strong arm, not even walk softly, carry a big stick, but rather carry a big stick and batter it over someone's head and say, peace, guys, peace. So Donald Trump is trying to create some peace in the Middle East. The ceasefires are multi-tiered that Biden came up with. Those are happening now. There's no goodwill. Israel does not really want peace. Ben Gvir and Smotrich and all of the Zionists who are very religious believe this is God's plan for them to take all the land, to have a greater Israel. So there's no goodwill for that to actually be a thing from the Israeli political sphere. And yet Donald Trump is thinking of himself as a transactional guy, a deal maker, disruptor, and he wants to get something done there, mostly maybe for his reputation, because he promised he would stop the forever wars and bring peace into wars that existed. We still have the war with Russia, Ukraine. It could also be that one. But I kind of think this is Venus trying her best to help heal the war wound. And with Chiron being activated here by the North Node, right? Not now, but all of last year. The last time this kind of Chiron North Node Aries war wound happened was the Vietnam War. And not just the Vietnam War, but when Nixon was elected, promising to end the war. Nixon was elected in the 1968 timeframe, 68, 69. He was elected, well, he would have been inaugurated, right? Yeah, so in 69, but the election was in 68. And that was Chiron North Node energy. There were student protests, sit-ins, just like there is for the Gaza war last year. There were assassinations, just like we had this year, an attempt on Trump's life. Back then it was Robert Kennedy Sr., RFK Jr.'s father, and Martin Luther King were assassinated in that 68 timeframe. We're living through 1968 all over again. That's what I'm trying to point out. And so we still haven't had, like, there may be some more. We've had assassinations, of world leaders by Israel, for example, right? We've had that, like who took down that helicopter with the president of Iran back in May. That wasn't just a fog bank. So like we have had visible assassinations of, different leaders in Hezbollah and Hamas by Israel, but it can still be a year of assassinations, and Trump is definitely in harm's way still. I also say that war wound wants to heal. Chiron is that war wound that we saw in 68, 69 with the North Node of Fate in Aries, amplifying the public demonstrating against the wars with sit-ins, etc., and Nixon running on the I will stop the Vietnam War platform. And that's literally was a turn of government, okay? So he was the new president and he overrode Lyndon Baines Johnson and Hubert Humphrey, who took his place. You guys, you can't make this up. Lyndon Baines Johnson stepped down because of heart problems or because he didn't think he could win in the primaries or something. So he steps down and in comes his vice president to take his place, just like Harris did. And instead, Nixon won. Just the same story. Biden steps down. Harris takes over, but Trump wins. Trump wins saying, I'm not going to do forever wars. We're going to get out of this stuff. Did you know that a poll that happened after the election showed that 14% of converts to the Republican Party who were formerly independents or Democrats, they were claiming it was because it was a protest vote against Gaza, and they thought that at least Trump might actually end the war. So you see, we're back in a repeat and a rinse cycle. Now, I'm doing world astrology from now on Wednesdays, okay? I think I'll be starting this coming Wednesday, whatever that would be, 13th or something of February, but just get the idea that we're in a repeat cycle. All right. If you have any thoughts on this in the comments, I'd love to hear them. Some of you guys are very astute astrologers. If you see something I didn't see about this, let me know. I think there's a strong arm for peace with the sextile to the wounded one, Chiron. I do not like the square, though, from Uranus to Mercury Sun. Sun can mean world leader or someone in power. Mercury is news, shock, and awe. Now, with all the P. Diddy, Epstein / Weinstein 100%, all these weird things that have been going on about disclosures around sex rings and orgies and trafficking and whatever. I probably just got, those are keywords that shouldn't be in this video, that we may have one of those big shock and jolts in the news cycle, because Pluto, the god of, the underworld, but also the sexual underworld, is sitting with Mercury, and there may be another scandal. I'm not even sure where Salacia is traveling right now, but she's definitely always implied when we're going to have a scandal, we'll find Salacia there, especially when it comes to sex. Let's put in Salacia for fun. Hang on, let me get her in there, and let's just see where she's sitting. Salacia, where are you? I'm putting her in right in front of you guys. Salacia. Like when Russell Brand sex scandal thing came out, Salacia was with his moon in Aries. I wonder if she's still in Aries. I don't think so. Salacia for Salacious News. Okay. Wife of Neptune. Salacia. There we go. Let's see where the gossip girl is. Salacia. Oh my God, she's right with Venus. Okay. All right. So yeah. Doom. There we go. Venus, sexuality, romantic love. She's ravenous and rapacious in the sign of Aries. She's going to get what she wants in conjunction, more or less, to Salacia. So there is a bit of salaciousness in the sky. It is sextile Mercury, Pluto, Sun in a whole sign sextile. So it may be just simply a sextile, meaning it's a good that it's finally revealed, that kind of thing. Who knows? Who are Aries people? Tulsi Gabbard has a lot of planets in Aries. I believe her sun is there as well. I don't think it would be a sex scandal, but just scandal or salaciousness around something in her life could come through. Who knows? I can't think off the bat of any like, well-known Aries folks. So let's let Russell Brand's still under investigation. I know his moon is in Aries, and that's what triggered the whole thing. There may be more follow-up on the Russell Brand story. Now, what we're doing is ending that and going into your sign. Whew. So we're going to start with Aries. How do you listen to your sign today? Sun, moon, and rising. If it is your sun sign, it can be indicating career and purpose matters. And we treat the sun as if it's in the first house. That's how we do the delineation, as if it's in the ascendant place. So your sun is also your eternal nature, and it's the animating force, like the soul of you. It's the actor who plays the role. The actor, it can be like this, like the real you is the sun. The essential self is the sun. If this is a simulation and you have to play an avatar, pick an avatar to get into the game, then the avatar is your ascendant and the game player is the sun, or the movie character is the avatar. So is the ascendant. And the moon can be about your home and your home matters, and the ascendant can be about everything about you. Listen for all three. You'll get a handle on it. I find sun and moon are definitely a must to listen to both. And as you get more aligned with your core self, essential nature, and less aligned with the character that you're here to play, like as you begin to move from a deeper place of beingness, you'll find that your sun sign delineations are surprisingly accurate and useful. But certainly you still have a character, right? And you can fall into the character. Like, I'm a geeky science nerd. I love science. I'm science fiction-y. I wanted to be a biologist or something. I'm really good at that stuff, but no, I ended up having to be an astrologer, and many other things. But consider all three. But let's just get going. Any call to actions for you guys? No, I can't think of anything. Check out my Pluto Chronicles on Substack. It's for free, or you can upgrade to a paid level, but you get a lot of free content there. I'm writing about 20 years of Pluto moving through Aquarius in great detail. The whole focus is Pluto and Aquarius, because I'm Aquarius rising and I'm fascinated by this journey. I have kind of weird lighting here because I'm in my living room without any kind of extra light. So hang in there with me. I know I look like I have a halo on my head or some weird thing going on. All right, let's just start off with the Aries people. Remember, this is not a one and done. This is going to be like how many weeks long until about February 20. Let's just double check that. Hang on. Yikes. I've completely lost my picture of you guys. I can't see you. Hi, I'm back. I want to share something here. I want to at least double check it. Okay. Maybe this is useful. I'm a teaching astrologer. I want you to I don't want to give you fish. I'll teach you to fish. Astro.com. You can check this out under aspect search engine at astro-seek.com. This is just basically to show you how these conjunctions work, right? I forgot I was going to show that to you guys. February 9th, 2025 at 20 degrees and 59 minutes, right? We see that conjunction between Mercury and the Sun. However, you'll notice that on March 24th, at 4 degrees of Aries, was retrograde Mercury between the Earth and the Sun conjuncts the Sun at 4 degrees and 24 minutes. And then on May 30th, Mercury conjuncts the Sun on the superior or other side of the Sun in direct motion, right? Direct motion. And anytime a planet's retrograde, like anytime Mercury or Venus is retrograde, it means it's between the Earth and the Sun as it conjuncts the Sun. So Mercury, 9 degrees, Sun 9 degrees on the May 30th, and then July 31st, 9 degrees of Leo from retrogradation Mercury between the Earth and the Sun. September 13th, 2025 in Virgo. And then we see that as the superior conjunction, Mercury's direct. And then on November 20th, Mercury is retrograde and is doing a Scorpio retrograde conjunction. I want you to notice something. Gary Caton has written all about this. He's an expert on Mercury. I've had it on my channel more than once, but you'll notice we're coming off the end of when Mercury's retrograde, he's activating fire signs, right? He's coming off a year and a half or so of being very active in the fire signs. And you're going to notice now that as we move into later to fall of 25, all the way through, let's say, to fall of 26, that we have Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces being activated. This is an every 7-year cycle that takes you back to approximately mid-2018 and all through 2019, where all the watery signs, Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer, were getting highly activated. And for us, Aries and Leo and Sagittarius, we basically look at, through to this summer and all of last year, 2024, Mercury was retrograding in our fire signs, so elemental fire years is what Gary calls them. And now we're coming into water retrogrades in fall of 25, all of 26, all of the year 2026, probably into the spring of 27. Okay, enough teaching. Let's go ahead and do your sign. I know I'm sharing, but I can't find it. So you'll have to bear with me because my software is acting weird. There it is. Okay. Okay, guys, let's start off with Aries and move through the sky together. Let's just cue us back by hours to get there. This is not the kind of thing where you have to be watching your clock, but if you are somebody who wants to do an election, meaning you got an important email you want to send out, or a phone call or conversation, or you want to launch a website, it's always nice to do that with something as powerful as Mercury conjunct the Sun. So that's good to use that, send that out on that time frame. And yeah, my software is acting weird and I'm not getting what I want out of it. Let's keep trying. It's going back to the 8th, right? Because don't forget, it's like 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning in Pacific time. I'm just trying to get Aries to cue to this, to the horizon line. OMG. My software is in slow motion today. It's got to be something wrong with my computer, not with the internet. Time for a new computer. All right. I was waiting for Mercury to get out of retrograde back in the day. Okay. So Aries, sun, moon, and rising sign. What we have going on here, right, is we have your experience of the Cazimi in your 11th house of good spirit. And this is where I keep saying this over and over again, good things happen, but it's where your friends and allies and benefactors, a sibling one older than you, reside. But it's also the house of long range goals, dreams, and wishes and desires. It's a karma house. It's a desire house. It's a relating house. It's you on groups, many different groups of friendship groups, circles, networks, clubs you belong to, tribe of choice, new beginnings, reset button through to about March the 24th. Evidence of what this reset button is being really clear to you. So you understand it. Certainly very visible. Let's say February 19th to the end of the month of February. Are you changing up your social circles? Are you changing up your long-range goals and dreams? career gains directly from the 10th house, second from the 10th, are here. So you will increase your career gains or change your career gains. It's like a reset button. And Pluto is riches and Mercury is commerce. So you're coming into a new commercial angle or change in somehow how you deal with or create financial gain and success from your career as a result, perhaps, of this Cazimi. Not Cazimi, it's called a solar conjunction to the sun. And with all these very resourceful stars here, including innovation, how can you be an innovator here? How can you be an innovator in how you create career gains or how you influence large groups of people or how you achieve some recognition from your career, including the word celebrity. So there's some really good energy for Aries up here. And if you have an elder sibling, there could be some really interesting developments in their life and you may be getting a phone call or some news from them on the Cazimi of the 9th or something, because it often means communications from an ally, benefactor, friend. That could be something showing up for you as well in a very interesting way. Square Uranus, a surprise. Uranus is in the house of money, a money surprise connected to an ally, benefactor, friend, career gain, or goal. Squares don't always have to be negative. They just mean they're very demanding of decisions and actions that must be taken. Also, the energy here is one in which you're healing some kind of identity wound. Chiron wants to heal a wound about a sense of self, about your character you're playing in the game of life. Chiron asks for the meaning of life to be very integrated right now to your career path and your life in general as he squares the 10th house. And, he's like, not just about meaning, but he's also about like belonging to yourself, being true to yourself, finding those unique gifts and talents or your original medicine that you're here to give the world. And a lot of Aries have been struggling with this kind of dilemma since 2019 as Chiron entered here. And I think that this Cazimi could be a clue or a breakthrough. I already had one today, the day before the Cazimi, from a dream last night about my career path and where I want to take it as an astrologer. So a lot of you may be having these energies building as he goes into the heart of the sun, already, like, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, about a shift of perspective to move to alignment with purpose and your natural use of your talents and gifts in a meaningful way, vis-a-vis the gains of your career and thus also the career itself. All right, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Coolio. Looks like you're going to go through a Cazimi here. Not even a solar conjunction here. Listen to the introduction where I discuss what a Cazimi may or may not be via the insights of Ksenia Moore. But it's a 9th house story. And it's a Dharma story, and it's a meaning of life and a spiritual wisdom story. But it's also higher education up in the 9th house. So you could be resetting your educational goals, resetting your visas, foreign land travel goals, resetting something. Oh, oh my God, I jumped. Oh, how did that happen? I'm like, what? I jumped out of Taurus land into Gemini. It's your career space. Of course it is. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I apologize. The software is acting weird. It jumped way too fast ahead of me. Apologize. It's on a delay. When I advance it, it does nothing happens. I click again and then it happens. And it's like wonky. Thank you, Mercury combust the sun. I appreciate you. So Taurus, back to you. I wanted to say it's a career story, right? So you are having a massive career and reputation reset button. And this is going to take you through to the 24th of March. And this reset button is happening in such a way that Pluto, just a second, I want to add something. What I wanted to do, and I meant to, I don't know, my brain's not working today. I wanted to look at the history of this conjunction, not from the retrogradation, but the superior conjunction, and ask, like, when did we have a superior conjunction in the sign of Aquarius in the most recent time? Like, when was the last time this conjunction occurred from a non-retrograde position? And that would have been January of 2019. Although in February of 21 and January of 23, we did have retrograde conjunctions of the sun in Aquarius. So if it helps you at all, you can go back to February of 2018 and January of 2019 for the most direct comparison to this story. Of course, there is no real comparison to this story because Pluto needs to be also in Aquarius, bringing to our story something very amazing. And in fact, the last time the Sun and Mercury co-joined, indeed, you did not have Pluto in Aquarius when they came together in the sign of Aquarius in January of 22 from a retrograde Mercury. We did not have Pluto here. So I'll probably call my video something like, Pluto, rare Pluto thingy. So I want you to look at your concept of 2018, 19, those 2 years, January, add 6 weeks or whatever. Technically, this is the closest comparison to the sky, superior conjunction, February 17th, 2018, January 30th, 2019. Okay. I'll keep that in mind as I go forward for each sign. I might highlight that. I bet you that was not going to be heard by anybody but the sign I was working on. So shocking, surprising changes in your career and reputation and identity, and news and information that allows for that to happen coming off the actual Cazimi, which is on the 9th of February, but also coming into formation more visibly after the 19th of February through to March 24th. Now, it's a reset button in your career house. Yes, you had one in 2018-19 that was similar from a direct motion. You did not have Pluto here. So this is something unlike anything in this lifetime. And I would also add to the story that you have to heal something. Are you addicted, self-undoing, karmic patterns, chains that bind you, family history, family patterns, ancestral line stories? You have Chiron in the 12th house activating all of those things in your life. This is your prenatal wound. What happened before you were born? Did mom not want you? Were you in an accidental pregnancy? Was your mom depressed or your father depressed because a relative had died? Prenatal wounds are asking for healing. You have to get to the heart of it. And this Mercury can give you the information and use to do so, especially through dreams or insights or meditations coming off the Cazimi of February 9th. It's the end of victimhood, where you're your own worst enemy and self-undoing is your worst feature. This is going to help you shift that if you relate to that self-undoing, including addictions. On February 9th, you begin to see inside of yourself how you can turn this around and how you can shift your reputation as a result, or also your relationship to your own career. So let me know how that goes, guys. Now it's Gemini. Now I get back to that 9th house, Geminis. Your 9th house is telling us that you are looking for deep meaning and deep purpose from this Cazimi reset. But you probably also, in a similar way, have been doing that, like with those direct motions of January of 17 and February of 18, or the other way around, February of 18 and January of 19, when we had direct superior conjunctions back then in Aquarius. But none of these conjunctions, even the ones later on, did, 21, 22, did not happen with a Pluto element. So Pluto is transformative, and it also asks you to dig below the surface to what is hidden. And so going underneath the surface to look more deeply at the spiritual wisdom and truth that you think is important for you in order to actualize a sense of alignment with your purpose. There is a question and answer period here. This is the house of the professor and the mentor, the guide, and maybe the guru. How are you able to find that answer? Well, it's delivered from Mercury in the heart. Mercury conjunct the sun, and thus it may come through a dream. The 9th house is the Asclepius dream temples. Pay attention. I had a dream last night before the actual Cazimi, and I had a new revelation about what I want to do with astrology in the future. And it's important because it feels meaningful to me. Can you see a meaning in your life more clearly after this? Yes, you'll see the deeper meaning, the use of your talents and gifts, your alignment with your Dharma coming to more fruition with Pluto power between now and the 24th of March. Look to February 19th through to the end of the month for it to really be visible to you, as we will have a visible sky Mercury at the time. Also note that we have stars for innovation and also resourcefulness up there and success. So continue to be successfully and resourcefully oriented towards purpose. To be on purpose in alignment with something that matters to you doesn't mean you have to suffer for that. You can be also financially successful, says the sky. Now, I do want to note that we have this energy of a very important square to Uranus on Algol and on shock and awe energy. So surprising, unexpected developments to do with purpose and the following themes: karmic shackles being unwound, past lives, spiritual liberation. This is good for a spiritual awakening energy. 12th house moksha, 9th house God. There's a divine possibility of a shocking or surprising understanding, revelation, or insight from a dream, a meditation, a hypnosis session, a guided visualization, anything like the 12th house, 9th house can pull off for you. But certainly petition your dreams for deep answers. Ask for a dream. If you catch this wave of this video tomorrow, the Cazimi is still in effect. Ask for a dream insight if you can. And also the night you go to sleep on Sunday, ask for some insights in your dreams. Now, also, we want to heal a chironic wound, obviously, because you got Chiron sitting in your 11th house. A chironic wound about your long-range goals, dreams, and desires. A chironic wound around a friendship. Chironic wound with an elder sibling, just a wound. Something wants to heal here. Also, the career gains. It could be a wound there. You might be having a wound about not gaining the money you want from your career, or reputation matters, success. Or maybe you're getting what you want, but it feels like it's off purpose, can't chase the paper, it's not going to be the thing that satisfies, and certainly with Mars squaring Chiron, there is similarly a story about eliminating or cutting through or ending that which you earn that no longer feels true and purposeful. So there's a big shift for some of you. Some of you may change your job. Saturn in the 10th house is always about hitting the peak of a mountain and going back down the other side. And some of you know that you've been peaking and now it's time to look at the next valley and the next mountain to climb. And so a lot of Geminis, including Kamala Harris, know that they hit a peak of a mountaintop and it's time they have to go down to the valley to find a new mountain to climb. That's what Saturn does in its 2 to 3 times in a lifetime transit through our 10th house. And let's go ahead and say, that's what I got for you. And you're so lucky, so damn lucky with Jupiter in your sign flowing in a whole sign house to your 9th house. You're divinely protected and you will find the answers you are seeking. The inner guru is alive and well. Cancer, sun, moon, and rising sign. Wowzer, wowzer, wowzer. Gotta love it, love it, love it. Why? Because you have this amazing, deep moksha liberation, magical, mystical, paranormal, and supernatural Mercury in the heart of the sun conjunction with powerful Pluto co-present. This is where if you don't talk to dead people yet, you might start doing it, or you might visit a medium or have a dead person show up in a dream with a guided message. All I'm saying is use this one. Feel into what happens when you go to sleep at night. For my Patreon community, you're getting this today, February 8th, so tonight, and also on Sunday night. For those of you who get it tomorrow on YouTube. It's exciting because this is where Mercury can give you all kinds of information that was hidden from view. He can also disclose secrets here, secrets that are being kept from you by either a spouse or a family of origin member. Now, this is a Mercury in a house of accounting and bookkeeping, and there may be some financial surprises in money matters. Yet we have Algol, a well star, Uranus square. You may have some surprising, exciting news or developments around finances connected to elder sibling or career gains, or some kind of forensic discovery of something around money that surprises you, especially connected to investments, pensions, and other kinds of ad revenue, royalty money, those sorts of derivative money that belong to other people that you share. Okay. But we see Chiron, and don't forget, you're given this 6 weeks or so through to March 24th with an emphasis on the 19th through to the end of the month when we have a very visible Mars for the full Monty to be revealed to you. But I think also that you're healing a chironic wound around purpose and career. You want, since 2019, says Chiron, to be using your gifts and talents in a most purposeful and divinely wonderful way, where you feel like your career belongs to you and you belong to your career. And you're going to activate some healing there and some deeper insights from the deep, deep darks of the 8th house. So a lot of that 8th house is archetypal. It's astrologically metaphysical as well. So some of you may have some insights. As I said, dead people do talk to us. Look for signs that some ancestor or passed on person or ascended angel or archangels or something like that are trying to get through with a message for you about your career, not just on the day of the conjunction, not just on the 9th, but over the next 6 weeks. Leo, sun, moon, and rising sign. Well, it looks to me like a Cazimi in the marriage house, or conjunction in the marriage house is afoot, as it was back in 2000, same style of thing, 2018 and 19. So there may have been some big, exciting developments, reset buttons, news or information coming to you in the winter, like, January adds 6 weeks, February adds 6 weeks of 17 and 2018 and 19. And it may have been just information that was coming to light about your marriage partner or from your marriage partner. Now, don't forget as well, the seventh house is marketplace and audience. It's business partners, it's legal contractual agreements. So there's a lot of meanings where this reset button is happening between February the 9th and about the 24th of March, when the next conjunction happens in Aries. This is a kind of energy of Pluto you've never had before in this lifetime. It's a first in a lifetime Mercury conjunct the sun in the sign of Aquarius. So Pluto is here. What needs to be revealed that was hidden from view? And it may connect you to a business partner, a long-term relationship, an audience, marketplace, client story. It is the house of other. It's less about you. It's more about some other person that's important to you. However, there is a square to Algol and star Algol / Uranus up there in the 10th house of career. There may be a big disruption or unexpexted development with contractual agreements regarding career matters. There may be some business partner disruptions as well. There could be some exciting new developments, positive too, where you get a new career offer, a new career contract, a new career solicitation or job, and it's just exciting and exhilarating. It doesn't have to be harsh. Having this energy here of the healing of the chironic wound in your 9th house is a wound of meaning and purpose. It's a wound to do with your father and father figures. Don't forget, we got salacious gossip up there too. Oh my God, salacious gossip about, guides, mentors, teachers, father figures, pastors and preachers. Maybe it turns out that your pastor or rabbi is having a scandal. You never know, Leos. And ultimately here, this could be news about your partner in love or business, and it's not even about you, and you're watching them like get some interesting news that impacts their career and impacts their purpose and meaning and their educational endeavors as well. So don't always make it about you. In this case, this is probably less about you than anything else, especially from the rising sign position. And Leo, whoa, someone complained that I always give Leo short shrift. I don't know why I would do that, because I do know Leos, and I think about them when I do these things. So if I have to extend this just for you, I'll say one more thing, not to get anyone complaining about it. Jupiter is flowing from the house of good spirit and the house of his joy. He's very strong in direct motion in your 11th house, giving you divine protection and success. So I think a lot of you could see this as a new career upgrade, contract, sudden event, greater career gains, more money from your career coming your way. It does look positive that way. All right, Virgo, sun, moon, and rising. Looks to me like you're going to have a Cazimi or a conjunction of the sun and Mercury, like you did in similar style to 2018, 19, January, February of those years, in your house of work, in your house of career, in your house of your pets, in the 6th house of your health and health matters. Now, Mercury's news and information, and the sun, it allows him to come into alignment with a deeper purpose, like a divine orchestration, I should say. So you could have some developments here in your work for sure, because Jupiter is flowing from the 6th house. It definitely looks like some lucky opportunities coming through the work thing that are very positive. They come through maybe like on Monday, right? Because who works on Sunday, Monday? And surprise, because we've got resourceful, innovative, and some material resource stars in your 6th house collaborating with this Cazimi, and Pluto is riches. So some of you could get a raise or a promotion or some increase of financial success or a new job or an increase in your situation in your current work. That's a good one for you guys. However, also, what's a shocking surprise in the 9th house? Now, the 9th house is tricky because it's a metacosmos, between the worlds house. It's not usually about everyday worldly affairs. It's a dharma and meaning of life house. So you may have a deeper revelation about meaning of life. And in this case, some of you may have a shocking, surprising aha that you want to go off to university or college or study some kind of, topic that allows for you to move your career into a path of more alignment with purpose. But it would surprise you, like, oh my God, I suddenly woke up Monday or Sunday morning and realized I want to be a neurosurgeon. I'm going back to school. I can't tell you what it's going to be, but it will be something like unexpected in your awareness, because Uranus brings insights and ahas as well as breakthroughs and change. This Mercury Cazimi is definitely flowing as well to Chiron in a positive way. What do you want to heal in your long range money, your chunky money? This is your inheritance money. Now, father figures belong to the ninth house in India, and we have a Chironic wound healed in the house of inheritance. You never know. Some of you might get some inheritance money out of this, out of the blue. But I kind of, because debts and indebtedness come off the sixth house, rental properties as well. But to me, it's more like Chiron is in the deepest part of the chart, the most chironic, the most karmic place of the sky is your eighth house. You've been going through deep healing of chironic nature. Like you felt you'll never heal this wound. It's going to pain you forever. And it connects to dark karmic debts and karmic situations that you brought into this life. And it's over in 2027. But you've been feeling it since 2019. There may be some salacious gossip. Venus, Salacia, Chiron are all together in the eighth house of hidden sexuality. And there may be some unexpected surprises or gossip or revelations regarding matters of sexual impropriety or hidden things. But because the Cazimi is in a flow to this chironic wound, there will be something good coming from it. The worst case is office gossip about you and your sex life, or office romance coming to light and it's a scandal or something like that. That's what I got for you. Let me know how it goes. Let me know how it goes. Libra, sun, moon, and rising. We have a Cazimi, Mercury in the conjunct the sun. Maybe it's not a Cazimi, maybe it is, but it is Mercury conjunct the sun in your fifth house of sexuality and romantic love, revealing something that was hidden from view underneath the surface, Pluto. As I say, for every sign, this is a 6-week story. It goes through to March, but you might find breaking news around the 9th and 10th. And you may also notice that this is going to be even more visibly obvious to you after February 19th, when Mercury is a visible planet. Insights and ahas, change in news in the fifth house of romantic and sexual love, but healing a chironic wound in the marriage house. There is a little scandal and salaciousness over there in that marriage house. Chiron, Venus, and Salacia are all together. And there may be some disruption in romantic sexual love, but it can also be a very profound healing in a long-term relationship and in regards to sexual matters. Creatively and entrepreneurially, you can have some breakthroughs. Please pay attention to your creative and entrepreneurial instincts, because this is important. Salacia just means gossip, and sometimes it's not bad, by the way, to have gossip going on. So you could have some gossip about a creative project, about an entrepreneurial endeavor, a lot of chatter about you as you're like making the waves in the marketplace. You do have a square to Uranus in a chunky money, but also hidden secrets house. So a lot of you are a little bit like the Virgos, going through some disclosures here, some revelations from things that were hidden from view that might have an edge of scandal, but very healing for long-term relationships as well. Now, I wonder if it could be also Algol, a wealth star. 8th house is a money house. So possibly there's a financial breakthrough coming your way connected to something entrepreneurial or creative. We have royalty income, residual income, passive income, money you make when you're sleeping, money that makes money that belongs to your shareholder in a company. Something could really pop here for you because we have good fortune in the 5th house. So news of good financial fortune coming your way on the 9th or the 10th and lasting, all the way through to the 24th of March, with greater visibility on the 19th to the end of the month of February. All right, Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising sign. Oh, I got a vocal coach who wants to work with me recently. I got to go find her email because I need to figure out how to keep talking as a profession and not end up with vocal cord problems. I do know some basics, all right, but still. All right. So if you're a Scorpio, this Cazimi is happening in your 4th house, the 4th house of home, property, land, real estate, domestic and private life, what you do in the midnight hour. And news and information may pop through the bottom of your sky. However, Pluto here can bring legacy, wealth, and connection to Jupiter. And in this case, it could be information or news coming from the family of origin about financial monies that are coming your way. If that's not true, then it could be some information or news around mortgages, debts, loans, and contractual agreements that is going to percolate around the 9th, 10th, but also unfold over 6 weeks to about the 24th of March. Possibly you also could hear from somebody that you grew up with, your mom, your dad, someone you lived with as a child, and you may get some news or information coming through, an email, phone call, text from them on, your mom especially as well, on the 9th or 10th. And it's going to be a good thing because it flows to Jupiter. So it's good news and it's financial news. And it may be that you're getting some good news from these people that you know from your childhood or family of origin. Possibly with the square to Uranus, this Cazimi could be also very exciting for your marriage partner or about your long-term marriage. And it may connect to exciting contractual agreements regarding property and land and real estate that come out of the blue. Someone wants to buy your house, or you have a sudden offer for a refinancing of a debt or a mortgage on your house from the bank. I don't know. Chiron is in the 6th house. This Cazimi flows to Chiron. You want to heal a work wound? Do you want to heal a health wound? Do you want to heal a wound regarding either of those? This is a good Cazimi. Pay attention to kind of getting maybe some insight from something you do alone at home or in the midnight hour, kind of an insight to help you heal something. Because a lot of you Scorpios probably have sensed, intuited, starting or known directly that, starting in 2019, work started to feel like a wound, like, I'm doing the jab, I'm doing my work, but you're not on purpose, are you? A lot of you probably suspect you're not, whatever that really means, to be in alignment with your purpose and, or be moving through the work world feeling purposeful. And there can be a shift around that. There could be a healing around that. Also good news about healing a wound regarding property rental. Like, I'm renting a place I don't like, or I wish I could rent my place out and travel or something. And if that's been a challenge, that could happen. Oh my God, I know, finally a pet. Oh my God, if you got a pet wound, like I wish I had a pet and I don't, or my pet's getting too old, or I don't know what it is. This could be a good healing of that pet wound through information, news, and ideas that come to you. And some of you, I swear, some Scorpios will be looking at the idea of whether they want a pet between now and March the 24th, if they don't have one. Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising sign. Now, let's say that there is this Cazimi of Mercury in a very busy 3rd house. It's so busy that I'm going to rattle off a bunch of things that it means, right? The 3rd house, new beginnings and a reset button, the last week of March 24th regarding travel, writing, teaching, learning, skills-based teaching, skills-based learning, websites, writing on the social media platforms, communicating, marketing and selling, all of that stuff. And a reset button with a sibling one younger. Now, this energy did occur for you back in 2000, the same way, superior conjunction of the sun back in 2019, also 2018. That would have been like, the spring. And so you've been through this before. It's not brand new. That would have sort of been like January and February of 1819, resetting that 3rd house of writing, communicating, traveling, teaching, on we go from a superior conjunction. So maybe you can hearken back to some of that. But also, this is with Pluto, right? First in a lifetime. And it's possible there's something even more profound than you've ever known here. Like if you're going to write, you're going to go subterranean, you're going to plow the depths of a topic. If you're going to set up a social media platform site or market or sell or, teach or learn, you're going into like sort of intensity and a profound transformative energy regarding all of those themes. Pluto can bring riches and Mercury brings ideas for your long-term gains in social media land or marketing and selling or writing and communicating. And we have some stars for innovation. We have some stars for material resourcefulness lined up at the bottom of the sky. I talked about them in my intro. Certainly Deneb Algedi can bring wealth and fame. So you've got some good juice down there. Now also Sagittarius. There is a square to Algol, and Algol is in a house of work and service. And Uranus Algol star is there, right, on that part of the sky. A bit of news that may disrupt your work life. A bit of news that may disrupt your rental situation, a bit of news that may disrupt something to do with a pet. Those are possibilities. The square can be disruptive information or news about those sorts of situations. And the third house is definitely your emails, text messages, phone calls, communications house, right? So let me know in the comments afterwards. I'd love to hear back what kind of disruptive information or news might have come off of this Cazimi for you. Look for that information maybe arriving on Sunday the 9th and Monday the 10th. Know that when Mercury becomes visible on the 19th and the light is shining in the sky of his little tiny sparkle, that's when maybe on February 19th, at about a week and a half to 2 weeks, you might begin to feel or see or know more clearly what this is about. Chironic wound in the house of sexuality, chironic wound in the house of romantic love and true love, chironic wound in the house of your children, chironic wound. Maybe a child is wounded and you think you could help them, or the relationship is wounded. Anyway, chironic wound in entrepreneurship. There is something going on where you're looking at this Cazimi giving you ideas or insights or directional shifts to allow for a flow between a house of communicating and ideating and a house of creativity and entrepreneurship, or again, romantic love. And if you're going to actually see this Cazimi, like say, produce a romance, because you do have Jupiter in the house of committed love, and we have Venus in the goddess of love in the house of romance, you may find that romantic love comes through texting, emails, phone calls, third house stuff, online dating, short distance travel. Let me know. Ah, Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising. If I can get back to you, hang on. Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising. There's a Cazimi in the money house. Show me the money, honey. Your money, your earnings, your food style, your voice, your vocation. These are second house matters, resourcefulness, financial wellness, all of that. There's a reset button here. You had this outside, conjunction, superior conjunction reset in 2018 and 19, January, February. Did you reset your financial way of making money in 2018? Sometime, between January, add 6 weeks. And again, I think it was 2019, February, add 6 weeks. So there were some changes there. Reset buttons there, but not with Pluto, and riches is his forte. And this is a money house, and Mercury's a commerce god, and information and news with resourceful, innovative stars, and also some wealth stars there. So money stars in the tail of Capricornus, like Deneb Algedi. I want you to look at how this could be literal. On Sunday, Monday, do you get a phone call, text messages, or emails around a financial opportunity of any sort? Otherwise, between now and the 24th of March, when he co-joins the Sun, Mercury in Aries, that's how long you got to wait. There is something that wants to try to reset here. You'll be more visible energy after the 19th of February, at a couple of weeks where you can see what this is truly about. But Mercury's trying to negotiate, make a deal, create some kind of commercial success, create some kind of financial opportunity for you with the Sun. And maybe some chunky money, because the Sun rules your chunky money house, could come through your sky as well. You never know. Off of this Cazimi or conjunction. The square to Algol in a money fortune house. The fifth house is a house of good fortune. It can involve wins and gains through speculation, gambling, lotteries, etc. Certainly, guys, buy a lottery ticket, because that square could be ka-ching, ka-ching in your pocketbook. Pluto says yes, riches, and Algol says yes, riches. So there is that. This can be disruptive to your children, your relationship with them, some disruptions in their life, surprises coming from them, and news and information, maybe a grandchild on the way, with the South Node in the ninth house, a karmic grandchild at that. Look for the phone to ring and, hey, mom, hey, dad, I'm pregnant, or my partner's pregnant. You're going to be a grandparent. I wonder too. This can be about disruptions in the house of romantic love. Mars is cutting through the house of committed love. But if the Cazimi can do anything, it can give you divine clarity about the true nature of the disruption and what it calls forth in your life. So look for Monday to bring that to you. And there is a chironic wound of belonging about home that Mercury wants to help heal through news, information, and ideas. So You want to find your place of belonging. You feel like you don't belong. You're the outcast from a true home for you. You can be feeling that wound since 2019. It's also the mother wound. And if you haven't fully healed any wounds regarding your relationship to your mama, then that's definitely going to be the last chance saloon here, as Mercury is going to give you some breakthrough insights. Mother, materia, and material wealth. Right? Mater and mother come from the same root words in Latin. So when we have financial issues, guys, you have a mother problem. Anyone struggling with poverty, one of my friends, oh my God, he's in his 60s. He's still broke, hasn't had any money all of his life. His mother gave him up for adoption. Then his adoptive mother was kind of cold and withholding. Then he met his birth mother, but the siblings didn't want him around. And like everything about that story was one thing after the other about the unhealed mother wound. And this person he's in almost 70 and he has no money and he's always struggled with money no matter what. So this is a story for a Capricorn to consider right now. And this is important because Chiron is in the house of the mother. And Chiron has a mother wound. That's one of his issues as a Chiron. All right. His mother was raped. So I don't know that word. I can't say it here. The RAPED word. And his mother abandoned him. And he was raised instead by Asclepius. So the mother wound is a Chironic wound in the house of the mother. So if you are a Capricorn and that mother wound hasn't been fully resolved, because no mother is perfect, this is your chance, because your material resources depend on healing the mother wound. And I'm done that lecture. Salacious scandal coming from the family of origin in the house of the mother with Venus. Maybe you're going to find out that your mother had a secret life or some scandal from the house of your childhood comes forward. Salacious, scandalous stories. This is applying through the 24th of April. You'll find the highlights of February 19th and add a couple of weeks when the Mercury in a real sky is visible, really highlighting this revealing and healing of a Chironic wound in the house of the family of origin, your childhood, and the mother wound. Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising. I am an Aquarius rising. I am one of you. Well, let's talk about number one. This is something that you felt back in 2000 and the similar way, 2018, like January, February, March, 2019, same time frames, where you're having a divine revelation, insight, reset of yourself. Sun, your career, ascendant, your avatar, your character in the game, and the character's role, and moon, maybe home and your emotions. Right? So this is a reset with Pluto, first in a lifetime. You haven't done this before with Pluto co-present, which is deep, transformative, cathartic, regenerative energy. I just drew a card called Regeneration from my deck by Colette Baron-Reid yesterday. Or was that this morning? I don't remember. But the point is regeneration. So how are you going to regenerate and transform and release and metamorphosize something about you and your life? And Mercury with the sun says, I got an idea, or I've got an insight, or I've got something to communicate to you directly. You don't even need to wait for the email to come in. So you of all people should go inward, go within or go without. Tune in, listen in to your own inner in the inner stillness of that place where you get like slip between the thoughts, guys. Aquarius is slip between the thoughts. Find the white space between the words of your thoughts. Do not linger in the idea of thinking. Sort of sit with being, because I am. This is your I am house. I am is separate from I do or I think, right? Or I have. So your I am space is where the insights are coming to you and your dreams are included on Sunday and Monday. And maybe also some of it already has come through, like it has for me on Saturday. Now, there's some wealth stars here. There's some innovation stars here. There's some success stars here accompanying this as well, which I covered in the intro. Now, one thing to consider is what is it that is unexpected and surprising, shocking, or disruptive about your home and your home life or your childhood or your family of origin stories. But this is literally Uranus giving you that sort of digital nomad, not digital, but nomad or disruptive home life story, changes of home, disruptions in the home and about the home, ever since 2018 when he got into the sign of Taurus. And, it's been pretty like having earthquakes about where you live. And certainly with Mars in your sixth house of rental, some of you are looking at cutting away from a current rental situation or having a change of home, coming off of this. And you'll feel that energy. Could be a phone call, email, text messages on Sunday, Monday regarding home, property, land, and rentals. But you may also see that February 19th to the end of February with a very visible Mercury, that's when the email comes from the landlord or the tenancy board or something, or the eviction notice. Let me know, guys. Let me know. Ugh. I just love my little rental unit here. This is it. I do not want to get a notice from my landlord. She's selling her property, but she's elderly and she lives in Switzerland. And I have a feeling that in Zurich, I think that this could be coming my way. Jupiter is giving you some divine protection from the fifth house of good fortune. So rest easy and take a few deep breaths. Now, there's a chironic wound in the house of writing. There's a chironic wound in the house of communications. There's a chironic wound in the house of short distance travel, skills-based teaching and learning. Now, often when Chiron goes through here, like you'll take on a role, like I'll be a mentor or a guide or a teacher, right? Because that's what he does here. And like I am that, I teach a lot of classes. But maybe an existential wound of meaning in the same time, right? Are you teaching something that's meaningful? Do you feel like you're in alignment with purpose? Is your writing projects in alignment with what you're really wanting here? Venus and Salacia can bring a little scandal. This is your online world. This is your social media platforms. But, all publicity is good publicity. A scandal can be turned to your favor. But feel into how this Cazimi might be allowing for a opening of understanding Mercury or an insight, Mercury in your first house, to do with how you approach third house matters. The third house is, I think. You're going to think something into being here. And Chiron is aligning you with the purpose of your life and the use of your talents and gifts. So there's something coming through in the next couple of days, but look for the deeper unfoldment through to March the 24th. And there can be something literal about a travel opportunity with this Chiron, a travel opportunity connected to purpose, to Venus, to females or women or creative projects that you want to do in the social media, art world, like social media land. But let me know. This can also be traveling connected to learning for yourself. You're going to go travel to learn under a mentor, but you may not know what it is yet because you need that conjunction to the sun to show you the way, to show you what the travel connected to the word mentor or teacher might be actually about. Did you do anything like that back in 2018, 19, right? January, February, and going into 6 weeks to spring. It may be a repeat of those themes. So for me in 2018, I had to move. My landlord sold the house. And that's exactly the same energy of, in 2018, Uranus had entered into the fourth house. And there was this conjunction to the sun in the first. So that would be how to look at the pattern repetition of astrology. I said, oh, yeah, in 2018, that conjunction happened in February or January. And then Uranus had moved into the fourth house by May. And my landlord said, I'm going to sell the house, like these things do repeat. So keep that in mind. Oh, a lot to think about, right? Pluto giving you power, depth, intensity, transformational essence to your Aquarian story. You will not suffer fools gladly. If we're not Darth Vader or the mafia boss, then we're going to be something important, but we are not suffering fools gladly, Aquarians, right? Kick the fools to the curb. All right, moving into the Taurus sun, that includes the trolls, who I'm now just going to delete from now on. Do I never say anything great about Donald Trump? Because I'm concerned he will face another assassination attempt. That means I'm not saying anything nice about him. Sorry, guys. Oh, we missed Pisces. The software is like glitching. No, you see what I mean? I'm just trying to get to Pisces. It's not going to let me. but I'm going to keep trying. Oh, I know what's going on. I need to move it to minutes. Give me a minute. I need to move the day at least. That'll help. So bear with me, okay? It's because of where the ascendant is falling. Pisces, there you are. Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. Now, there is a Cazimi in the 12th house. It is like your hidden house. It's what you can't see very easily. You go, it's like the trunk of your car. You know you got suitcases in there, or you know you got shit in there, but you can't see it when you're driving your car. So you can't see that 12th house. So you need to attempt to see the 12th house. Go into a dream state, meditate, look inward, excavate your past lives, your spiritual liberation, your self-undoing and addictions, bad habits and patterns, your karmic chains that bind you from other lives, your ancestral patterns that hold you back, your family of origin and childhood traumas, all will kind of double knot up in that 12th house. So now how do you deal with it? And prenatal situations as well. Like, what was happening while you were gestating in your mom's womb. Because this is where this insight is, and you might have had some insights because Mercury news. Mercury's a dream pomp. He's a psychopomp, but he's also a dream messenger, and he rules he brings your messages in the dreams, right? And the angels and well, never mind, we won't go there. So you've got a potential for powerful insights from your dreams Sunday and Monday as this Cazimi is playing out. Pay attention. You may have already had some on Saturday, waking up Saturday morning, whatever. This is here, whoosh, big vortex of listen to your dreams, pay attention to your insights and quietude and meditation. Look for those breakthroughs here. With Pluto, it's first in a lifetime. You've never lived through this before. Like, holy moly, like, wow, like something deep and hidden and excavating depth of your story. Like, oh my God, you wake up in the morning from a dream that you realize the reason you have no money is that you hate your mother. Or she abandoned you or betrayed you. Look at the mother wound Pisces, because Jupiter is opening up wisdom and knowledge in the house of the mother in direct motion. Look at the mother wound in this Cazimi. You have a Chironic wound in the house of money and earnings right now. You're not making the money, honey, since 2019. If you make it, you lose it. You get it, you have it. You're wounded around possessions, earnings, and resources. Why? I don't know, but you've been playing with that wound and you want to have money that's on purpose. You want to create meaningful income, and yet you're working with this conundrum since 2019, or your face, you don't like it and you're working with your ugly face. If you think it's ugly, but it probably isn't, you want to fix your nose, your teeth. Hopefully you haven't done one of those like cat eye surgeries. Chironic wound to the teeth, the mouth, the nose, the face, the throat. Chironic wound to your food style. You keep eating a Haagen-Dazs a day and you can't believe you can't stop. You're addicted to something. The addictions of the 12th house. The chironic wound of what you put in your nose and mouth. So these are themes that you're really trying to break through with. You are your own worst enemy sometimes with this setup, and you're seeing how you can stop doing that. Okay. There is a square. And by the way, sex scandal, Salacia. Venus rules the house of shared resource with a partner and sexual intimacy. There can be some real big breakthroughs here with sexual intimacy, sex scandals connected to your marriage and marriage partnership. So look at that South Node. It looks like some Pisces are getting ready to dump a long-term partnership out in the next 18 months, that or deepen it spiritually. Now, you have a Uranus, shock and awe, surprise, unexpected, disruptive element, breakthroughs in the third house connected to this Cazimi. All right, so third house, 12th house storylines. What could it be? A breakthrough, a viral hit on YouTube, generating income from foreign shores and foreign lands, 12th house, commercial success, or a breakthrough regarding the life of a younger sibling, one younger, or a breakthrough connected to your neighbors, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, and nephews, and maybe your own childhood wounds. Cousin George tells you that your mother was really or that, and you've, oh my God, now I understand it all. So look for those kinds of emails, phone calls, and text messages coming in from siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, and nephews that could relate to your childhood and what you're trying to figure out about what exactly caused you harm then. And if you are somebody with an online presence, website, social media, a marketer, seller, this is where some positive or not positive, surprises or disruptions may occur connected to your 12th house Mercury Sun conjunction. You only had Uranus here since 2018. The best comparison would be the Mercury conjunct the Sun in 2018 and 2019 January. That was playing out then. Unexpected, shocking, and surprising opportunity for travel to a distant shore coming your way. That could be another story off of this as well. Finally, the house of hospitals. Mercury's with Pluto, the god of death, and the Sun, father figure in the house of hospitals. Well, it doesn't have to be a father figure. There's something about news or information regarding somebody potentially in a hospital that you must address here. Maybe not. I mean, not everyone has someone they know in a hospital. Let's be serious. Requiring unexpected, surprising travel, for example. And Jupiter in the house of the mother. So maybe more mother figures and challenges to their life or health. And you're going to see maybe evidence of that, not just on Sunday, Monday, but look to February 19th to the end of February for a visible Mercury. Look at the expiry date for the story to be March the 24th. All right. Whew. Well, I am recording on February the 8th, and that means my sister is going to have to try to turn this around quickly to get a timestamp for you guys on Sunday the 9th. I am not working at a fast pace right now. I'm back from my trip to Mexico. I'm coming down from that trip in terms of like, I loved the relaxation, and I'm not going to be able to push myself too hard these days. I might be reducing my YouTube drops to twice a week, which feels impossible to me because I try to cover every sky event, but I may not be able to do that going forward. I may find it exactly what I don't want to do. Too much work. Okay. Thanks, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, help me go from 100,000 to 200,000 subscribers. Why not? Thank you so very much for being a part of my crew. I'll be having a big party and giving away some prizes, some otter spirit bracelets, a product from Seer and Sundry, the very magical Leo, what do you call it? Like essential oil perfume. I bought 3 of them, and one of them I'm going to give away. I use the lion's roar all the time, and I'm going to give one of the 3 away, and I'll give away some free courses. And that's going to be a big celebration party that I'm going to do a YouTube live for. Stay tuned for information on that. It's coming up in February to celebrate the 100,000 mark and give away good prizes to all of you who helped me get here and have a big giant party. And I don't do YouTube lives, right? Because it's so much work to pull up charts and look at and analyze it. So, but this will be a live. And so I'll be doing probably a Sunday live in a week or so, maybe an evening live. I don't know when. If you can make it, I'd love it. That's why I like a day live, because it captures more time zones. So stay tuned for the live party celebration here on YouTube that I would love to have everybody come in with, and randomly, some of you will receive prizes. Thanks. Have a great day. Have a great week. Have a great Mercury 6-week cycle.